Checky Fly. Fly Tying Essentials. The Woolly Bugger. This is the second fly I teach in my Fly Tying Essentials class, the Woolly Bugger. It's one of the best flies you can tie for any fish out there. Let's tie one. This is a size 8 Daiichi 1720. It's a 2 extra long heavy wire hook, and it's perfect for the woolly buggers I tie for trout and panfish. That is some .020 diameter lead wire I'm putting on there. Make a nice little tube of lead on the shank of the hook. Move it into position just slightly forward from the middle. And I'm going to start my thread. This is some 6/0 Unithread, just a white color. And I start my jam knot in front of the lead and then lock it into position by putting the thread on the back side of the lead and covering up that hook shank. I can trim off the extra. And I'm ready for my tail. Tail on a woolly bugger is marabou. For this particular color scheme, I'm using some Wild Turkey marabou. I have measured it so it's about the length of the hook shank and move it into position, and I hold it nice and tight with my left thumb and forefinger right on top of that hook shank while I bind it down with my thread. That looks good. I can lift up the excess there, the butt ends, and trim those off. Get those out of there. Perfect. Now I'm just going to cover up the loose ends there with some more thread wraps just to make it look nice and neat, but that'll be covered up with our body anyhow. Now the way I teach my woolly buggers in class is I tie the hackle in first here at the back. This is some nice Hebert gray saddle hackle I have, and I tie it in by the tip. So I've prepared that. I lay the tip right on top of the hook shank, tie that in with a few nice tight thread wraps. And that's ready to go. The body on a woolly bugger is chenille. You can use any color. I'm going to use some silver tinsel chenille on this one. Silver woolly buggers are one of my favorite for bass, panfish, and trout. Don't tell anybody, but I've had great luck with a silver woolly bugger. As you can see, I have pulled the fibers off of one end of that chenille to reveal just the string that goes down the middle of it. That way there's less bulk when I tie it in. Tie that in at the back and move my thread forward up by the hook eye. Now we just wrap that chenille forward. One wrap over and away from us, right in front of the tail. Each wrap is right next to the previous wrap. Make a nice full furry chenille body here. Wrap all the way up to the hook eye. Once you get up to where your thread is, try to leave enough room to tie that off. Don't cram too much chenille on there or else you'll run out of space. And I do 2 or 3 nice tight wraps of thread over that chenille. Hold it straight up and trim that off as close as you can. I like to put a couple more wraps of thread there at the front just to make sure everything's in nice and tight. Now we just wrap our hackle. That's all that's left pretty much on this woolly bugger. Take my saddle hackle. I'm also wrapping over and away from me, and spread those wraps out so you can see the chenille body in between them. On this size 8, I'll get probably 5 or 6 wraps here. Make one full wrap at the front. There we go. Finish that up and hold that straight up, angle it forward a little bit. Throw my thread over that hackle stem to tie that in 2 or 3 times, and that should be in nice and tight. I can trim that off as close as I can with my scissors. Now I like to pull all the fibers back a little bit here so I can make a nice little thread head. Get those fibers out of the way. and I will whip finish, and my woolly bugger will be complete. You can tie woolly buggers in any size and color combination you'd like. Give them a try. Check your fly.